Hello students, we will be learning what is called as algebra of statements today. Now this is a list of some standard equivalent statements. These are given in the form of laws. Now you have to quote these laws while doing the further sums which are there. I will say that not to memorize these laws but rather solve more and more sums involving the laws. So ultimately you know these statements thoroughly and the laws which are associated with it. The first among them, idempotent laws. P or P is P. Similarly, P and P is P. Associative laws. You can change the bracket and thus change the association over here. For this, the condition is that the connectives must be same. In the given statement, two connectives may be used which should be the same. For example, P or Q or R is the same as P or Q or R, which is P or Q or R without any bracket. On the RHS, you can read for yourself. For and, the same association is used. You can change the bracket. If two conjunctions are used, you can change the bracket and mean the same thing actually. The next one, commutative laws. P or Q is the same as Q or P. Similarly, P and Q is also the same as Q and P. This is easy enough to understand. Distributive laws. P or Q and R. That means in a statement, if a conjunction and a disjunction is given, it becomes somewhat like multiplication actually. It becomes the same as P or Q and P or R. Same way, check the RHS. P and Q or R is the same as P and Q or P and R. The next, identity laws. P or C is P. C means contradiction over here. Similarly, P or T is T, where T is a tautology. On the other hand, P and C is C and P and T is P. Now for science students, for commerce students, the statements are given as contradiction and tautology. For science students, the same concepts are given as true and false. Contradiction means false, tautology means true. So this can come in the sums as well. Next, complement laws. P or not P is T and not T means C, where the same thing, T is tautology and C is contradiction. It is somewhat like true or false is true. Somewhat like that. We have learned in the truth table there. And similarly, P and not P is C and not C means T. Same thing like true and false is false. Somewhat like that you can remember it. The next one, involution law, that is law of double negation. Negative of P is P. This we already know because we have dealt with it in the last lecture. Now the most important, De Morgan's laws. Negation of P or Q is not P and not Q. Similarly, negation of P and Q, not P or not Q. Again, this is nothing new to us. In the last lecture, we have already dealt with this particular law actually. Contrapositive law. If P, then Q is the same as if not Q, then not P. Again, we are familiar with contrapositive statements actually. Some important results which you should keep in mind because such sums can be asked of you. The meaning of if P then Q is not P or Q. Similarly, the meaning of P if and only if Q is if P then Q and if Q then P. You can prove this by drawing truth tables. Now in the exercise, the first type of questions. Rewrite the following statements without using if then. The first question in that, if a man is a judge, then he is honest. Now, as usual, we are going to split the statement into two statements. Split the compound statement into two simple statements, P and Q. So let P, a man is a judge, and Q, he is honest. So the symbolic form is if P, then Q. Now from the above result, we already know that if P, then Q means not P or Q. So the given statement can be written as a man is not a judge or he is honest. The next sum, if 2 is a rational number, then root 2 is an irrational number. It can be solved in the same way as the previous one, that is let P 2 is a rational number, Q root 2 is an irrational number. Symbolic form, if P then Q, the meaning of which is yes, it is not P or Q. So the given statement is 2 is not a rational number or root 2 is an irrational number. The next sum, you can try it out yourself in your notebook as an assignment. So the next sum involves without using truth table. We have to prove the following statements. Now here we are going to use the laws which we saw in the first slide for proving the statements. Initially you might find it difficult, but as you solve more and more sums, the laws will be thorough for you. The first question here, P if and only if Q, we have to prove that it is the same as P and Q or not P and not Q. Let us take the LHS. P if and only if Q. From the previous result which we studied, we know that this statement is the same as if P then Q and if Q then P. Again, from the previous result, we know that these two statements are same as not P or Q and not Q or P. Then what we do over here is that it is like multiplying two brackets together. We take not P of the first bracket and which is the connective in the middle, and we apply it to the second bracket. So not P and not Q or P. Same thing like applying the middle sign. We put or from the first bracket in the middle, and then we write Q and not Q or P. Think about it for a bit, you will understand it actually. Now this is done by distributive law. Then we get the next step. In the next step, it is like opening the brackets and multiplying. That is not P and is applied to not Q or P, both of them. So we get not P and not Q or not P and P or Q and not Q or Q and P. The same thing is done over here also. This is by distributive law. Now observe the second bracket. It is not P and P. Now by complement law, not P and P is false. That is false and true is false. The same effect, not P and P is false. Same way the third bracket, Q and not Q is also false. So thus we get in the next step, not P and not Q or false or Q and P. This is by complement law. Then in the next step, P or false is P by identity law. Thus the first bracket or false is the first bracket. So not P and not Q or false is the same as not P and not Q. Same way false or Q and P is the same as Q and P. Okay, both by identity law, you can check it out. Now we just change the association, we just change the order of writing by commutative law and we get P and Q or not P and not Q. Thus we get our right hand side, RHS. Let me help you out with the next sum also. The sum is P or Q and P or not Q is the same as P. We have to prove it without using the truth table. So we take the LHS, P or Q and P or not Q. What do we observe over here? We observe that P or is common to both the brackets. Thus, we make it common by distributive law. We write it common. So we write P or. Now we get commonly Q and not Q. Now Q and not Q. True and false is false. Thus, in the next step, we get P or F. This is by complement law. Now, true or false is true. P or F is P, and thus we get P by identity law. I hope the concept is becoming clearer to you as we do more sums. The third sum, P and Q or not P and Q or P and not Q. You have to prove that it is the same as P or Q. So we take the LHS, P and Q or not P and Q or P and not Q. Now what we do is that by commutative law, we bring P and not Q, the last bracket, to the second place, as you must be observing now. So the last bracket comes to the second place. So we get P and Q or P and not Q. This becomes a group, or not P and Q as a separate bracket we write. Now in the first two brackets, we observe that P and is common. So just like the previous sum, we take P and outside as common and write the remaining part like so. So we get P and Q or not Q, or the last bracket is written as it is, not P and Q. This is done by distributive law. Now in the second bracket, in the bracket Q or not Q, true or false is true. So we get Q or not Q as true by means of complement law. So the next step, we get P and T or not P and Q. We write it as complement law. In the next step, P and T is P by identity law. Thus we get P or not P and Q. In the next step, we again use the distributive law. It is like multiplying the brackets. P is multiplied. You imagine P or is multiplied with both the components of the second bracket. Both the components of the bracket, I mean. So we get P or not P and P or Q. This is by distributive law. Now in the first bracket, P or not P is given, true or false, which is true. Thus we get true and P or Q by means of complement law. So in the next step, we just change the order of writing and write it as P or Q and T by commutative law. And we get P or Q by identity law, because P and T is P. Thus we get the given statement, which is equal to RHS. In the next sum, negation of P if P or not Q, then P and not Q is the same as P or not Q and not P or Q. It is not as difficult as it looks. Let us take the LHS. In the LHS, the statement is a conditional statement, the negation of a conditional. You know that negation of if P then Q is the same as P and not Q. Thus, the negation of the first bracket, if the first bracket then the second bracket, would be the first bracket and not the second bracket, like so. So we get P or not Q, the first bracket, and not P and not Q, that is the second bracket. The justification over here by negation of the conditional. Then in the next step, the first bracket remains as it is. We can remove the negation of the second bracket. The second bracket is a conjunction. Now you know that the negation of a conjunction is the disjunction, the negation of the two statements, disjunction of the two negative statements which are there. That is, not P and Q is the same as not P or not Q. Thus, for the second bracket, not P and not Q is the same as not P or not Q. That not Q can be written as Q, as you know from the previous lectures. Thus we get the next statement, that is, the first bracket remains as it is, P or not Q and not P or Q. Now this is by De Morgan's law, combined both the last statement and this statement. Both of them are by De Morgan's law. Thus it is same as RHS now. The next question is, using algebra of statements, prove the following. we are going to do the same thing that we did in the previous question, that is use the laws of logic. The first question, P and Q or R, or not R and not Q and P is equal to P, corresponds to P. Now we take the LHS. In the next few steps, you will be observing that the first bracket, the first square bracket remains as it is, at least for the next few steps. You are going to concentrate on the next second square bracket given over here. So in the next step, what do you observe in the second square bracket? You observe that around not R and not Q a bracket has come. Now this is done by associative law. In the next step, again in the second square bracket, you observe that the order of writing not R and not Q has changed. It has now become not Q and not R. This is done by commutative law. Rest of the statement remains the same. Then in the next step, now not Q and not R. Again in the second square bracket, not Q and not R is same as not Q or R. This is by De Morgan's law. And then in the next step, P and Q or R in the first bracket, or in the second bracket, P and not Q or R. Now what has been done here? This has been changed by commutative law. The and P in the second bracket, which came in the last place, has now come in the first place in the second bracket. Then in the next step, we take P and common by using the distributive law and write it like this. That is P and Q or R, or not Q or R. Now you know that P or not P is a tautology. So Q or R or not Q or R, we write it as T. So we get P and T by complement law. And P and T is P by identity law. Thus we get our RHS proved. Now next is an assignment for you which you can try in your notebooks. Keep practicing so that you understand these laws properly. Now one more question remains where we'll be using these laws and proving statements. That will come in the next lecture for you. Till then, keep safe, keep healthy. Bye.